Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. Come on in, come on in. Reporting live from my bedroom, my happy place, especially after 7 o'clock. I love to be at home, but come on in, and let's get tonight's conversation started. So, what I do is I give it just a second to let a few people creep on in. That way, we can get tonight's conversation started, and just have a good idea about the direction this group is going. So come on in, and let's get this high blood pressure journey rolling. So when you guys first entered the group, one of the first things you've probably seen from me was a post requesting that you all get a journal. That was my first request from you guys, mainly because as you move through this group, this journal is going to be very, very important with helping you coordinate your strategies to get to the root cause of your blood pressure. So getting a journal is going to be very, very key, because when you're able to document your journey, you'll be better able to understand what's working for you, what's not working for you, and just coordinate your plan of attack when it comes down to getting to the root cause of your problem. This is going to be one of your biggest weapons for getting to the bottom of your blood pressure issue and improving your lifestyle. So no matter what type of journal you get, I highly recommend that you find a journal. Go to the store, your local dollar store, Target, Walmart, go on Amazon, order yourself a journal, get it shipped to you. That's going to be your homework for this weekend. Getting a journal, something that you like, something that you enjoy. It could be a custom journal, something neat and that you have. This is going to be your tool for success, because with this journal, this is where you're going to keep your notes and keep track of your path that you're on. And again, take the time out this weekend to actually do so. That way you can just be comfortable with the strategies that we're going to put forth. This week coming up, I have some great plans for the group, beginning with just talking about deficiencies and breaking down how they correlate with blood pressure issues. We're going to be breaking down, put it down. We're going to be breaking down deficiencies, and that way you can understand what things are triggering the blood pressure problem. Because with most blood pressure issues, there's some type of underlying deficiency that's triggering it, whether it's a vitamin D deficiency, a potassium deficiency, magnesium deficiency. There's something that's underlying that's triggering the problem and that's causing it. And this week coming up, Monday, we're going to be specifically tapping into those deficiencies. That way you can learn how to dot your I's, cross your T's, understand what's potentially fueling this blood pressure issue, and get to the root cause of it. And that's the way you'll be able to jot down some notes. That way you can cross-reference between any blood work that you might already have, or simply just introduce the strategy to your life to help you start getting the necessary nutrients to combat some of those blood pressure issues. Because one of the main thing about it is, when it comes down to correcting a nutrient deficiency, you don't want to depend on supplements. Depending on supplements, hold on, my cat is playing with his ball and it's just driving me nuts, man. Trick, come on, here, on, give me that. Give me that. So, well, my bad. So when it comes down to blood pressure issues, you want to understand that you don't want to control these nutrient deficiencies with supplements. Some people like to take potassium supplements, magnesium supplements, or these other type of supplements just to band-aid the problem. But that's all it does. It just band-aids the situation. It doesn't necessarily help you overcome the issue, because the last thing you want to do is continue to take something to just patch up a blood pressure issue, because ultimately your body's going to get used to whatever it is that you're taking. Your body's going to require more of it, and then after a while it's just going to be obsolete. It's not even going to work anymore. So don't get caught up in that cycle of needing supplements and having to take things to correct your blood pressure issue, because that's where you just cripple your body and not allow it to work properly on its own. So all next week we're going to be diving into those deficiencies. That way you can better understand the nutrients, where to get them from, the food sources that have these things. That way you can start adding those foods to your diet to build up your nutritional storages to start correcting these type of issues, or these type of deficiencies that are underlying for these blood pressure issues. And one thing about deficiencies, it may take more than just consuming certain foods to help with this problem, because there's a number of things that can trigger different type of deficiencies. So understanding that, it's a big puzzle, and just taking some pills is not going to necessarily get to the root cause of the problem. And that's why so many people struggle with these type of issues, never getting it controlled, because we're taking a shortcut, trying to just take some pills to do something real quick, instead of actually putting in the work, eating the foods, allowing our bodies to build itself up to naturally handle the issues, naturally correct the issues that it's dealing with. So that's going to be next week's topic. And one of the best things that we're going to have, what I plan on doing, I plan on having a challenge every other week for you guys to actively participate in. Because one thing about it, when it comes down to being in a community setting, dealing with this type of issue, it's really, really important to be able to challenge yourself to actually do better and get better. Because if you're not actively participating in these strategies, you can hear these strategies and these tactics all day, but I want you guys to participate in these things. That's why I put this group together, because without participation, you're not gonna win the game. It's as simple as that. You got to be ready to participate. So next week I'll be putting forth the challenge. It's going to be what's called a fruit and salad challenge. I'll definitely go into further details later on throughout the week about it. But basically, this is going to be a challenge to help you start incorporating some of those foods that is going to help you get over this blood pressure hump. The fruit and salad challenge is just basically challenging yourself to consume certain things each and every day. That way you can start getting used to consuming the foods that are high in the nutrients that are required to control blood pressure, understand the foods that you like in these different categories, and start implementing them into your diet and your lifestyle. Every day, just simply going out and having the fruits or the salads and incorporating it into your lifestyle to build on these type of habits. Because again, when it comes down to lifestyle changes, this is all about making the change. This is all about changing some of these bad habits and replacing them with good health promoting habits. So when you start changing the habits, you're gonna see your body start to change and start to get back in alignment. And that's what lifestyle changes are all about. Getting yourself back in alignment so the body can function at its optimum level and work properly without the need of supplements, without the need of pharmaceutical medications. And that way you can strengthen yourself up and start just healing and correcting the internal issues that you're dealing with. So next week we got some really, really big plans tied in. I definitely want you all to be a part of this process, because again, this is for you to continuously get better. Everybody here is either dealing with blood pressure issues and they want to get off the pharmaceutical medications, or they just here being nosy. It's as simple as that. So if you're dealing with blood pressure issues and you want to get off the medication and you want to just be the best version of yourself and even just reduce the amount of medication that you're on, it's all about being active and being a part of these tactics, these challenges, so you can understand the different strategies to apply. There's nothing, when it comes down to these different strategies, they're as simple as just instead of reaching for this, reaching for that. It's nothing too complicated. It's not going to cost you anything outrageous to participate in, because mainly it's really just about making better decisions. And we're going to outline all those different things for you to better understand. And that's what makes it really, really fun, because now it's not just you trying to do something on your own by yourself, but you're in a community of people that are actually working towards the same goal. And when you're in the challenge, now you can update your progress through the group. The fruit and salad challenge is simply talking about, hey, this was my salad for the day and these were my fruit for the day. And you just start taking those small steps forward to help put you in the right ballpark for correcting these type of issues. Because when it comes down to it, again, these deficiencies just come from a poor diet. And when you start shifting directions and eating the right foods and eliminating the things that are causing the problem, now you start to see the shift in your body. And this shift doesn't take months and years to happen, this starts to happen almost immediately. You start seeing your digestion improve. You start seeing things change. And that's what it's all about, just getting back in alignment and understanding how this process works. Because one thing that can be, you know, uncomfortable is some of the blowback that might come from an individual that's, you know, a little bit more on the unhealthier side. So it's really important to understand how the process works. That way you can understand, you know, any uncomfortable situations that you're in. Because if you're doing something and it makes you uncomfortable, you're most likely probably going to stop. But if you're doing something and you expect this to come, this uncomfortable, you expect this discomfort to show up, and you understand how to move through it, this is going to put you in a better situation to continue to progress in the right direction. And that's what coaching is all about, man. Having someone that can help you understand the pitfalls that you're up against and know how to maneuver through these things. And this is what these challenges are going to be all about. So next week, we're breaking down deficiencies. We're going to be talking about those things directly. And next week, we're going to be breaking down the deficiencies, talking about the different nutrients that are important for blood pressure, and we're going to be releasing the challenge and open the doors for everybody that want to actively participate in the challenge. So if you're here and you're interested in participating in the fruit and salad challenge, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. That way I can know how many people attention that I have when it comes down to being active in their own healing. Because one thing about healing, you got to participate, man. You can't just sit there and think that it's just going to come to you. Change doesn't happen by chance. It happens when you make a choice. When you already make a choice to click on the link and join the group. Don't let that be the last decision that you make when it comes down to your blood pressure. You click the link and join the group. Now continue to be a participant and participate in the process. You have to be part of the process when it comes down to your healing. And this is what these challenges are going to be all about. Each and every other week, we're going to have challenges like this structured around these different strategies, and it's up to you to partake in these things. Now, you're going to have the support of your community. You're going to have the support of myself as well, helping you understand how to do these things. All you have to do is really show up for yourself, because if you're not willing to show up for yourself, nobody else is. Your health and your body is yours. And if you don't step up to do the things that are needed to get it back in order, that's on you. You know, I only can lead you so far through this process, but having a willingness to show up each and every day for yourself and say, this is my goal. I want to get off of these medications. I want to improve my health. I have this timeline of how I want to do these things. Having that understanding and that goal is going to be your driving force. That's going to be your why behind what you're doing. And that's going to ultimately get you to your finish line. And that's what it's all about, man. Continuously getting better each and every day. So your homework for this week, really, really simple homework. Get a journal. You got to get a journal. Get yourself a journal, because you want to write things down. The people that win in life are the ones that take notes, and they're the ones that actively utilize the notes that they take. So when you get your journal, take your notes, write things down, document your journey, and follow your own success story. Because when you follow your own story, this is going to help you understand what you did right, what you did wrong, and continue to just get better. And that's what it's all about, man. Next week is going to be a really, really great week. It's our opening challenge week. And it's going to be filled with knowledge about the underlying causes of these type of issues. And again, when it comes down to correcting blood pressure issues, it's important that you remove all potential causes. So this group is going to allow us to turn over every stone. We're going to lift up every rock and check out, okay, is this our problem? Do we have this type of deficiency? Do we need to get more exercise? Do we need to get more sunlight? We're turning over every stone. So if you're someone that's willing to turn over every stone to see what you're doing wrong, this group is going to guide you down that pathway. Again, all you have to do is be willing to participate and see yourself through the line. So everyone that's here, as we get through, I want you guys to understand that this is a group where you should be active in. A lot of people might not feel comfortable with posting themselves and talking about their individual journey, and that's fine. But, you know, when you partaking in certain challenges, I would love for you guys to be participating. That way you can get the feedback that you need when it comes down to the strategies that we're applying. Because if you're just doing something and you're not 100% sure, you're not totally engaged, there's no way that we can actually all be on the same page to make sure that we're all moving in alignment in the same direction. So be an active participant. Introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Kellen. I've been having high blood pressure for the last 5-6 years. I take 2 medications and my goal is to get off of them by December. Boom. That's what you have to do. Introduce yourself. Put yourself out there, because one of the biggest parts about lifestyle changes is building those relationships and those connections with people that are dealing with similar issues as you, because this is your support group. Is that what it is? We're here to support you. We're not here to say, oh, she got high blood pressure and she 300 pounds. And we're not here to single you out. We're here to motivate you to keep moving forward, because at some point we're all dealing with the same issue, myself included. I've had high blood pressure. I've been overweight. I had the high blood sugar levels. I had all those problems. And I'm here telling you guys all about it. And I make myself extra vulnerable in every situation that I'm in. That way I can be completely transparent with you guys about where I'm at, what's going on in my life, and how it's going, because I need you guys to be able to open the doors for change as well. I'm not saying you got to swing the front door wide open and let everybody see your business, but make it where you're available to engage with everybody. That way, as we're moving through this process, we all can continue to connect and build and get better. And that's what these challenges are going to help us do moving forward. So again, next week is going to be a really, really big week. I'll be live again Monday. I won't be live Friday or Saturday, because I'm going to be at the local farmers market in Hollywood. That's usually where I'm at. Saturday and Sunday. I'm at the farmers market in Hollywood. I'm there throughout the day. So if you are in South Florida, feel free to drop by the market. I'm working on doing some day classes there as well. We're structuring all those things out, and I'll have some more details about it later. But I'll be at the market in Hollywood, the Yellow and Greens Farmers Market. If you are in the area, pull up on me. I'm there sitting down, just doing random things throughout the day. Pull up on me, come chat it up with me. I welcome all you guys just to show up and hang out, all those fun things. But but next time I plan on being live is Monday. Monday, I'm going to introduce the Fruit and Salad Challenge. You're going to get further details about it, more understanding and more clarity of how this process is going to work. But most importantly, we're going to be talking about those deficiencies and how it all connects with the blood pressure issues. Now, one thing as well, I have people here that are also in my other group, because I have multiple groups. People here that are in the Wealthy Mindset community. The people that are there, look for an email with the schedule, because you're going to see all these things that we're going to be talking about in this community, but also you're going to have further details and further insights about how things are moving forward. You're pretty much going to have the whole layout moving forward. That way you can actively participate in what you want to participate in and have all the tools to guide you through each and everything. So for those of us that are in the Wealthy Mindset communities, be ready to check your emails. You're going to get the updates with everything else that you need, as far as the cooking classes and the challenges and all those things. We'll make sure you see all that. That way you're coordinated, you know what's going on, you know what time we'll be live, and you don't have to pick and choose. Miss Marianne, I see you there. We'll be live on Monday at 7:30. That way I'm not extended past my bedtime. I like to go to bed pretty early. But yeah, 7:30 Monday, I'll be live again, and we're going to be introducing that Fruit and Salad Challenge. That way you can understand just how you're going to incorporate more whole foods into your diet, and those things that you should be removing during this whole time frame to start correcting those mineral deficiencies that's influencing those blood pressure issues. So what I'll do now is I'm going to take a couple questions. I really didn't want this to be a whole question live video, but I'll check and see some questions. I'll answer a few. That way, you guys can get some clarity about some of your concerns. And then we definitely go from there. I just started juicing Monday. I haven't taken my high blood pressure meds in 6 days. I checked today, it was 131/88. That's pretty good without medication, but it's Friday, I'm craving a cheat day. That's interesting. So one thing, Andre, that you should understand is this. When you start juicing or fasting or, doing things like that, your blood pressure is automatically going to go down, mainly because the energy levels that are needed for your bodily functions, it decreases substantially because your body is not in digestion mode. There's no food coming in. It's not digesting anything but a little bit of fiber that may be traced inside of the juice that you're consuming. And it's just really assimilating those nutrients and things like that. But understand this, once you stop juicing, your blood pressure is going to go back up. And what happens is, if your body hasn't been in a position to cleanse itself properly, the blood pressure is just going to eventually go back to where it was, and it's almost going to be kind of like you juice for nothing. So understand that, juicing is great to help with some of the risk factors that you might be experiencing, such as, like, let's say if you're overweight or you're dealing with you have other type of risk factors. The juicing will help you continue to gain better control. I'm not saying juicing is bad. I'm not saying don't juice. I'm saying that it's going to help you get better control. But juicing doesn't give you that cellular rejuvenation, such as like a water fast and things like that. So your blood pressure is going to go down. It's going to look good. It's going to be a lot better than you've normally seen it. But eventually, once you start adding food to your diet, and your heart has to start back pumping to get the nutrients flowing through all the rest, to get the digestive system going, to assimilate and get the nutrients everywhere that it needs to be. The heart's going to get back to pumping. Blood pressure is going to come back up a certain bit. But if the body hasn't been cleansed and rejuvenated properly the way that it needs to, your blood pressure still may be elevated in some areas. So continue juicing. Don't do that cheat day. Trust me, you'll be back up. It's gonna set you back more. So trust me, you're doing the right thing. Don't do the cheat day. Keep moving forward, but continue to apply juicing as a strategy to help you with the other risk factors that you're dealing with. But when it comes down to taking your meds, I always say, don't stop taking your meds. Your doctor gave you a medication for a particular reason. Allow your doctor to be the one to wean you off the medication. And one thing that you must understand is that you have to earn the right to be off of the medication. You trashed your body for however many years with this blood pressure issue. You have to work and earn your way off of this. This is not just my blood pressure looks better, I'm just going to stop taking the medication. It doesn't necessarily work like that. You have to understand that you have to build your body up and earn your way off of these pills by implementing the strategies and correcting your lifestyle, allowing your body to be able to maintain its normal functions without the need of medication. For some people, this can take 14 days. For others, I've seen it take 40. For most, I've seen it take 45 days. And then for a person with really bad chronic issues that's been dealing with it for a while, it can be a lot longer. And they might not necessarily get off all the medications, but they definitely improve to the point where they wean down off of the dosages that they're on and actually just feel like they're able to live again. So understanding that everybody is a little bit different. But you should never stop taking your medication. You should continue to apply these tactics and strategies and allow for your body to get better. And one of the biggest parts that I do in my challenges is helping people understand how to approach their doctor when it's time to get off the medication. How to take their notes and document their journey and present it to their doctor with, hey, this is what I've been doing. This is my work. This is my BMI. This is where I was 3 months ago. This is where I'm at now. I've lost 30 pounds. My blood pressure has been trending in the right direction for the last, 6 weeks. These are all the things that you have to understand, and documenting that journey is a big part of it. So, understanding that it's a process, but it can be done, and it doesn't take long to see these results. The first couple days, I guarantee you will see a change in your body, and now it's just all about building on those different type of things. Let's see what else we have. Miss Marianne, will smoothies be included? Unfortunately, no, smoothies won't be included. A little bit about my history with smoothies. I'm a two-way fence when it comes with it. So if you're an individual that's dealing with blood pressure, the only reason I won't recommend smoothies is because most people that are dealing with blood pressure issues, typically they may have a weight issue. They may be in a position where they could lose a couple pounds. They don't necessarily might not be obese and dealing with all these other issues, but they can lose a couple pounds. When it comes down to smoothies, only thing I'm against when it comes to the smoothies is the fact that these are basically liquid calories. They have a lot of nutrients and things in them, which is cool. It's great, but when it comes down to curbing your appetite and, just your overall hunger level and the amount of calories that are there, I'd rather you eat the food and eat the fruits instead of drinking the smoothie. Because what happens is, let's say you have a smoothie, you put a cup of pineapples, you put a cup of bananas, maybe some blueberries, maybe some strawberries, and you fill it up. all those fruits are getting broken down, the fibers getting all processed, and you're consuming it. And then when it comes down to your digestion, your body's going to digest it, assimilate it, get rid of it, and then boom, it's using it all up. Now, the nutrients are going to be great. They're going to go to wherever they need to be, but you're going to be hungry again. And that hunger is going to push you into a direction to where if you're not disciplined or not structured properly to understand your dietary approach, it might push you in the wrong direction to choose some foods that you might not necessarily be having. Or, you know, it's not going to do anything for you when it comes to moving the scale in the right direction, because you're having a smoothie that's going to give you an extra 400 and 600 calories when you probably need to be shutting it down and removing it. You may need to be reducing your caloric intake, and that smoothie is not necessarily going to be in alignment for some people. But in the challenge, I won't have any smoothies there, mainly because I want to make sure that everyone can put their best foot forward and not have any of those obstacles in the position in the way for them to actually get over the hump that they might be facing. So it won't be any smoothies. It'll really be focused on smoothies and salad. It's going to really be focused on fruits and salads, whole foods. Going to have salad recipes if you want to get all fancy with it and stuff. You're going to have all the tools that you need. That way you can be efficient, and you're going to get them a week ahead of time. That way when the challenge starts, you're ready to dive right in and get going. Let's see what else we got. I'm checking these questions. Got any other questions? Feel free to drop them in there. What's a good meal to start with for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? That's a big question, but I'll give you a good idea. If you're starting your day, the best way to start is always with fresh fruit. Fresh fruit is always going to be best, mainly because the body works best when it's empty. And if you're someone that just has to get something in their system, having fresh fruits is going to allow for your body to digest, assimilate, and utilize all those nutrients in the fastest pace. Fresh fruit usually digests within 20 to 30 minutes of consuming it. It's in and out of the stomach, and it's gone to where it needs to be. Whereas if you have things like pancakes or oatmeal or some of these other things, it could be a little bit heavier. And not saying that oatmeal is bad or anything like that. I'm just saying it could be a little bit heavier, and the body functions at its highest level when that stomach is empty. Because again, a lot of energy goes into digestion. When that stomach is empty, there's nothing to digest. The body can use that energy to cleanse and do other things, become mentally sharper in different areas. So when it comes to breakfast, fasting is always going to be the best option, but everybody's not built and ready for that type of strategy yet. But outside of that, fresh fruits is going to be number one. Always a go-to. Getting your fresh nutrients in the morning, allowing for your body to get the fiber, the water, the vitamins and minerals that it needs, having enough of those. That way, by the time you get going, they're already digested and assimilated, and your blood sugar levels are gradually rising. Because one thing about fresh fruits, they don't give you a sugar spike. They don't give you a sugar spike because of the fiber that it holds. The fiber slows up the digestive process, and you get a small gradual rise in your blood sugar levels, which is more controllable by the cells. And now when that blood sugar starts to slowly rise, the cells can start taking the glucose and utilizing it and turning it into energy. And now you get a gradual increase in your energy levels to be a lot more efficient. So for breakfast, it's definitely going to be fresh fruits. I'm not going to go into the lunch and dinner time question because I'll probably spend a whole lot more time on that than I really want to. So we'll go from there. I see hey Kellen, someone said that you weren't supposed to mix fruits and veggies. For example, you should do one or the other at a time. You get people that talk about food pairing and things like that, especially when it comes down to smoothies and all these other different variables and things like that. So when it comes to food pairing, there is some truth in it, depending on the strategies and the tactics that you're using. But inside of our challenge, you'll have a better understanding of how this actually works. Because again, when it comes down to it, this gets really particular based on the belief system that the individual have. Because when people in the alkaline environment, they don't necessarily believe the same thing as another individual. It varies. There's a lot of information out there, and all of it it's counterintuitive. It goes against each other in different ways. That's why it's just a whole big amount of confusion there. But in the tools that I give you, you're going to understand how this process works and better understand it and be able to connect the dots, because what usually happens is an individual that's dealing with severe chronic issues, let's say you got IBS or you have some digestive issues and things like that, you're going to probably experience some blowback. And that's why I mean that having an understanding of the adjustments that you need to make if you experience this is going to be very, very important, because the last thing you want to do is, okay, I'm on this challenge, I'm making these dietary changes, I ate a nice big salad for lunch and I got some fruit in my system, and now I got gas out this world, I'm constipated and I'm just feeling bad. That's the last thing you want to happen, because usually you're just going to tap out and say, nah, I can't do this because as soon as I ate this, I just felt bad. So you have the understanding of what to do and how to move forward with that, just in case you are dealing with those type of issues. But when it comes down to food pairing, it's a whole big world of things that are out there. But I'll be sure that you have better details about it, because again, the better you understand it, the more you'll be able to apply the different tactics and strategies to your lifestyle and get over the different humps that you may be faced with. Can I have yogurt mixed with fresh fruits in the morning? I'm not a yogurt fan. I don't do any like dairy products and things like that. I know there's different other variations as well, but I can't really say. But I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it. I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing, but I'm just not a yogurt guy. But the fresh fruits are always the best. It's as simple as that. Let's see. I don't see any other questions there. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them in. And I guess while I'm waiting for any other questions, let's see. I can give you guys an update about my mom's journey, because some of us that are here, they've probably been following and seeing that my mom has been doing some fasting and cleansing, and she's doing water-only fasting for her blood pressure. She's in day 5 of her intervention, and she's 4 days in with her fasting. This is the 4th day with her fasting. Yesterday was a bit of a struggle day for her. Hunger was at its highest, but definitely today I noticed that she had a lot more energy and her hunger was almost non-existent, because usually around this time frame of 4th and 5th day, the hunger is going to completely die out. The body's going to know that, oh man, this person's not giving me anything, so now I got to completely shift gears. And this shifting of gears is basically her body shifting from using glucose as energy to switching to ketones. So her body is completely in ketosis. And with her body being in ketosis, basically it's going to break down her internal nutrient storages, her internal fat storages, and utilize those and turn them and use them for energy throughout the day. So now as she's shifting directions and getting away from glucose, moving into ketones, her body's going to have its energy already within itself. So the excess fat that's under her arms, her neck, the belly fat, the waist fat, all the fat in her legs, her body's going to begin to hack away at all of that and break those down, because only thing that's inside of those fat storages are vitamins, minerals, nutrients, toxins, and a few other things that are there. The body needs nutrients, and it's going to break down all those internal storages and pull those things out of her. And when it's breaking those down to take those vitamins and minerals and enzymes and things out of there for food, it's going to also release the stored up toxins that are inside of her. All those built up toxins that have been trapped inside these fat tissues for however many years, they're going to start coming out, and the body's going to be able to eliminate them properly because they're not caught up inside of the nutrient storages. So during this process, her body's going to be using her fat for fuel, breaking it down, and eliminating all those excessive toxins that she's in. So I expect her to go through a bit of a wave when it comes down to her detox symptoms coming up, because one thing about it, when those toxins do get released, depending on how your diet and your lifestyle was previously, that's going to pretty much be how your symptoms are. But someone that's been a little bit more health conscious and more, mindful about what they consume, the symptoms may not be so bad. But for someone that just didn't care what they ate or just ate anything, the symptoms can be up and down, and be very, very discomforting. But it's really important just to understand how to manage them, because they come in waves. The waves, one day you might feel a little nauseous here and there, and then it disappears. You might catch a headache for like 20, 30 minutes, then it disappears. But understand how the waves come and don't interfere with this process. Day 3, I think she wanted to take some ibuprofen because I think I mentioned that her shoulder was hurting when she was sunbathing. I had laid her down, but she was uncomfortable, and her shoulder started bothering her. She wanted to take some ibuprofen, and I told her, like, no, you can't take ibuprofen through this process. Just fight through it. Allow your body to adjust. I get you some heating pads or something like that, but no ibuprofen, because you don't want to interfere by consuming medication. Because when you consume that ibuprofen or any type of pills, now your body sees that as another toxin that it has to eliminate. So instead of working on the cleansing process with whatever it was doing, it has a new primary focus, which is to whatever medication that you put in, the body has to now get this out of the body, and it stops the whole healing process because the body's now focusing on whatever you just consumed. So, I told her not to consume it, kind of gave her a little education behind it. That way she could be more comfortable with it. Overnight, the pain went away. She was a lot more comfortable, and she felt better. And one thing about it, that sunbathing has really been helping with her energy levels. She didn't think she was going to make it outside today, but as soon as we got outside, 10 minutes out there, boom, she was alive. She was a firecracker. Her whole day went great, and that was a sign of motivation. Like, hey, come on, just show up for yourself. The more you show up, the better you're going to feel. Like, just show up, be there. I'm walking you through this process. Just show up. I ain't gonna let you fall. Like, just keep going. And as we keep moving through it, she's seeing it, and we're structured in a way where she can see her progress. In 4 days, she's down 8 pounds. And that's a big number in 4 days. That's like 2 pounds a day. And now we had a conversation about this when we first started. She hasn't been 200 pounds in almost like 15, 16 years. She hasn't been 200 pounds. Right now she was at 230 when she started. She was at 228 when she started. Now she's at 220. She's on pace to be 200 pounds in like the next 14 days, and hasn't been that weight in like the last 15 plus years. So that's very, very motivating to just be like, yo, keep with the process, because you're going to get over this discomfort today or tomorrow. Now, by the time you get past this, and then you start seeing that number, that scale start to go down. Now she's in the teens, and then she's going to be in the single digits, and then boom, 200 pounds. That's highly motivating, especially for a woman that's 66 years old, hasn't been 200 pounds in the last 15 years. To see that scale, see 200 and then say 199, you're going to be all in with this process. And that's one of the things that I'm just really happy about for her, because as we keep going forward, she's starting to see some big changes that's going to help her continue to get better. So let's see what other questions we have in there. Let's see. I don't think I see any more questions. If a person never fasts, how can they start? Oh, that's a great question, Miss Janice. So if a person has never fasted, the best way to start is this. Now, barring, I'm going for a person that's never been on medication or doesn't have any chronic issues. This is going to be a flat. Matter of fact, I'll probably adjust that strategy, because most people here are dealing with high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure and you've never fasted before, this is the beginning strategy that I'll give you. I'm not going to indulge into the bigger strategies, because I'll leave that to a further discussion later on. But this is a beginner strategy for you. If you have high blood pressure, you're taking blood pressure medication, whether it's 1, 2, 5, 6, however many, you should start with intermittent fasting. It's as simple as that. That's going to be the best place to start. Reason being, you can still take your medications while you're fasting and still be able to get some really, really good results. Intermittent fasting is basically controlling your eating window and your fasting window. The best strategy that you can start with is what's called a 16-8 strategy. 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating. Basically how this works is you can stop eating at 8 o'clock and don't eat again till 12 o'clock in the morning. Most people take their medication in the morning. It's not too many glitches where you can't hold off on taking your medication sometimes. Not too many for most people, just like maybe an hour or two later. It's not too many glitches in that. But what happens is when you create this fasting window of 16-8, from 8 o'clock at nighttime to 12 o'clock in the morning, you allow for your body to eliminate, and you allow for your body to utilize you allow for your body to utilize everything that you gave it the day before, and also continue to burn off some of those nutrient storages that you have. So shutting down your eating cycle at 8 o'clock, this allows for your body to continue to break things down, because at 8 o'clock, your body, just because you stop eating, your body is still working. You got to breathe. You got to breathe. Your heart's still pumping. All these functions are still happening, and these take nutrients to actually continue to go. And now, as whatever you finish eating, those nutrients are being digested and assimilated, absorbed, and assimilated and being used. And once the body finishes using those things, it still needs to go. And if you're still in this fasting state overnight, now the body has to go to some of those internal storages. So it's like, okay, well, we're out of all of the nutrients that she gave us for dinner. Okay, go ahead to go to the belly fat and take some of that out of there, because I need this for X, Y, and Z. And now your body starts pulling some of that belly fat and breaking it down and chopping it up, taking the vitamins and minerals and things out of it and sending it to where it needs to be and getting rid of the toxins. So it's going to put you in a process of elimination. And when you gradually build on this strategy, you're going to be able to see your body continuously get better. You're going to start to see your digestion improve. You're going to start seeing your weight get better. You're going to start seeing that you can handle more fasting. So, and then when you start seeing that you can handle more fasting, instead of doing a 16-8, you might can extend it to like a 20-4. And what that is basically 20 hours of fasting, and you just eat for 4 hours per day. And during that 4 hours, you just consume as much food as you possibly can and allow your body to go through the whole cycle again. Because the thing about it is, the more fasting that you're able to do, the more healing and cleansing that the body is able to accomplish. And the reason I like intermittent fasting as a beginning strategy, it's not, you don't have to commit fully to it. You can start with 3 days per week, 2 days per week, until you figure it out and see how your body like it, and you'll still be able to get results. So let's say you decide, okay, I'm going to intermittent fast this week. I'm going to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's a great strategy. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 3 days. You don't have to overcommit to it, and you don't have to overdo it. You can take this baby step, and you can see how it feels. For the first month, you can do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you're going to see some good results. And now, when you say, okay, I'm going to go Monday through Friday, give me 5 days of intermittent fasting, those results are going to double it. Your fasting strategy is going to be a lot more easier, and you're going to start to see your body improve. And it's all about building upon your strategies and getting better, because again, when it comes down to this intermittent type of fasting, you're going to see the results. And the main thing is you have to continue to make the other lifestyle changes to keep your body in alignment. The last thing you want to do is do all this fasting and you're still detoxifying your body because you wanted to eat pizza or other type of junk foods and the things that you shouldn't be consuming. You're wasting your fast. You're wasting your fast. So understanding that when it comes to these type of strategies, you must be ready to get in alignment with your whole lifestyle and just applying them as comfortably as you can. If you could do it for 3 days, do it for 3. If you want to do it for all 7, that's great, because one thing about it, the more you do, the better the body actually gets. Can I fast one day a week? Yeah, 24-hour fast is great. Pick a day per week. That 24-hour fast is going to be really, really good for you. And what you're going to see is that 24-hour fast is going to allow you to reach what's called autophagy. Autophagy is when your old damaged cells get broken down and recycled and reconstructed, basically. So if you got old damaged cells somewhere in the body, the body basically takes those little cells, break them down, take the good parts out of it and get rid of the bad part, get the other cell, take the good parts out of it, get rid of the bad part, and create a whole new cell that's ready to function at its optimum level. And that type of rejuvenation, it helps with your overall function. And with a 24-hour fast, this allows you to be into autophagy for about 4 to 6 hours. The autophagy typically starts around 17, 18 hours or something like that. So it allows you to be in that stage of autophagy to get some type of healing. And when you do this consistently every week and build on it, you're going to get that type of healing to occur. And the best thing about it is that each time you do it, your body's going to get better at it. And if you continue to apply these lifestyle changes while doing it, you're going to see better results as you continue to process through this whole cycle. Should we take a cleanse before starting the challenge? Kudos to you for helping your mom. Can you share her age and how long she's dealt with blood pressure? Yeah, she's 66. She's been dealing with blood pressure issues since I can remember. And basically, yeah, since I can remember. And you say, do you want to take a cleanse before starting a challenge? Yes, that's a great idea. And I think to better, let me slow down on this one. Mainly because I did do a cleanse in my early stages of healing. But there's a thing with overstimulation. And I don't think I want anyone to be overstimulated through this process, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but some individuals can end up using it as a crutch instead of actually continuing to do the work, because if you do a cleanse and it helps clean out your digestive system and you lose 6 pounds, 10 pounds or whatever through this process, you're probably gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that shit. I'm gonna do it again. Excuse me. I'm gonna do that again to try to help me continue through this process. And then you can overstimulate your body, and then you're not allowing your body to work at its highest level. So what I will do for better information, I will break down the cleansing cycles that I did 3 or 4 years ago. That way you can understand what this process looks like. Because I'm not anti-herb, but I am anti-herb when it comes down to solving a problem. Because at the end of the day, like let's say if you're taking herbs for your blood pressure, eventually your body's going to get used to it and it's going to be ineffective eventually, and you're going to be back at square one with no idea how to control your blood pressure. So when it comes down to cleansing the body, I know that most people have to go through I understand that most people have certain issues and challenges that are different from others. So yeah, I will go over that cleanse at some point next week. That way you can understand how that process looks, what it looked like, and you can make a decision for yourself if it's something that you wanted to do. It's not something that I'm recommending, but since it was a part of my journey in the early stages and it did work for me in different ways, I don't have a problem with sharing it and giving you guys some clarity. That way, if you did want to introduce some herbs to help you get a jump start on your process, you'll understand where to begin and how this cycle actually works. I see Harold got one. I work out a lot. I'm also high blood pressure and also congestive heart failure. Can I use creatine for energy? Now, stay away from anything that you're taking because you don't want to, again, overstimulate your body. You don't need creatine or anything like that. And the main thing is understanding the dietary strategies to reverse that heart failure issue that you're dealing with. Kelly, come here. I have a book that look on this left shelf right there, and it's a book that say Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. It should be a blue and white book, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. There's a lot of books up there. You might not even be able to find it. Go through each one and see if you find it. Prevent and Reverse High Blood Pressure. Should be on the middle shelf. We have white and blue. So there's a book called Prevent and Reverse High Blood Pressure by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. For you, Harold, this is going to be something that you should definitely look into when it comes down to adopting some strategies to help you reverse this type of condition. Mainly because, again, you don't want to overstimulate yourself because, of course, you're working out and you're creating more movement for yourself, and that's great. But you don't want to overstimulate yourself and cause other issues. So you want to get to more specific strategies that's going to be outlined to help you understand what's actually going on and start working towards getting to the root cause of the problem. Because adding things is never going to be a good way to help you. When it comes down to healing, it's all about removing the causes and removing things that are overstimulating and that's triggering and allowing the body to get back in alignment to do what it needs to do itself. So consuming creatine through this time frame, it might not necessarily be the worst thing, but it's not gonna push you in the right direction and help you get to where you need to be. What you got? Pull it out. Yeah, that's it. Get it. Appreciate it, big dog. So this is it right here, Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. Very, very good book. I probably read this 3 or 4 times. Go ahead, take it. I probably read it 3 or 4 times. I've given it away, God knows how many times. People that come to the restaurant out in the farmer's market, I always keep books like this with me. And I give them away because these are great tools to help you better understand the challenges that you're dealing with. This is something that you should definitely pick up, keep it by your nightstand, And it's going to help you just understand that type of problem a little bit more clearer, and also give you some tactics and strategies to help you reverse it. Because again, these are all scientifically proven, peer-reviewed information that's going to help you understand how to correct the problem. You know, sometimes we think that we just have to take the medication and we have to be, you know, we have to be a certain type of way because it's genetics and things like that. But it's not necessarily the case for many people. I want to say 80-90% of people, that's not necessarily the case. Now, there is a point of no return where you allow this issue to become so bad where it's just your body can never get back to where it once be. But once you start making some of these changes like what he put forth in this book, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how your body transitions and turns the corner when it comes back to improving itself. So if you're dealing with any type of heart issues, heart failure, or anything in that nature, this is a great book to have on your bedside. Take your time to read through it. It's a pretty simple, easy read. It does have some recipes to help you along the journey, but I think the most beneficial part is some of the dietary strategies that are aligned inside here that will help you better get control of those issues. And I definitely make sure I post my book library, man. I got a great library of books up there. I'll make sure I post my book library, and I'll make sure as we go through this journey, I just drop a couple books in here. That way, if you guys want to just research some stuff for yourself and, you know, just build up your own understanding of these type of conditions, you have some good tools to move forward with. Let's see. Cheryl says she do a 16-8 and it's made a big difference for her. Yeah, definitely 16-8 is all it really starts. And the more you do, the better you get. When you fast, you drink. When you're fasting, you drink water. Yeah, water only is always going to be the best. I did a video about distilled water earlier, so if you want to check that out, that's definitely up there as well. Can high blood pressure be reversed permanently? The answer is no, because high blood pressure is a lifestyle disease. You correct your lifestyle, 9 times out of 10, you're going to correct your blood pressure. You go back to living a crappy lifestyle, 9 times out of 10, the blood pressure issue is going to come back. This is all lifestyle related. So understanding that, you have to make these changes and be willing to stick with them. And the thing about it is this, you don't have to make radical changes to correct your blood pressure. You really have to understand what your triggers are and be able to stick with and be able to better control them. Because once you understand your trigger, let's say if your triggers are stress related and nutrition related, you can improve your stress levels and manage your stress with stress management techniques and start making dietary changes, and you'll get better control of your blood pressure. This doesn't mean you can't have some birthday cake or you can't enjoy yourself or have a drink here and there. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means that, okay, you know you're a little bit more sensitive to these type of things. So you better be mindful, because if you continue down this road too far, your issue is going to come back. But one thing I always say is that you should be willing to commit to a full circle of lifestyle changes for an extended period of time to get a better understanding and a better control of this cycle. Usually it's going to take anywhere between 45 and 90 days to help you gain a better understanding. For myself, I went through 8 months of this whole process and I completely changed my whole life. I lost over 80 pounds, got my blood pressure under control, got my blood sugars together, and I haven't looked back since. And I decided to stick with these same strategies mainly because it made me feel good. Like, I felt better. My body felt better. I had more energy. I looked better. Like, I cooked better. Everything was different, and I enjoyed it. And the last thing you want to do is go back to feeling like crap. Like, we've ever seen these people that lost 50 or 100 pounds that ended up gaining it all the way back. It's depressing, and it puts you in a different place because, like, dang, man, I was on the right path, and I lost all this weight, and then I ended up slipping, and I relapsed, and I'm back in the same square one. So it's really important that, when you find something that works for you and it's manageable and it's sustainable, stick with it as close as you can. That way you don't have to worry about having those setbacks, and it's a part of your lifestyle now. You don't have to worry about taking pills and supplements and medication, and all you have to do is really be mindful about what you're doing, because the one thing about it, you are what you do 95% of the time. It's as simple as that. What you do 95% of the time, that's pretty much you. That 5% that you do, that one drink you might have once every other month, it don't count. It's as simple as that. It doesn't have an effect. Yeah, it does, but it doesn't count because it's not what you're doing. You're not an alcoholic that's banging drinks down every weekend and things like that. It doesn't count. It's not going to affect you the same way. Does it have a potential negative effect? Yeah, but it's so small. It's that 5%, that 95% of you exercising, sleeping right, eating better, managing your stress, having better relationships. That's going to outweigh that drink that you had. So understand that 95% of the time, that's what really, really matters the most. So other than that, it's really important that you just continue to be on the right path until you get control of it and you build your body back up and you're able to get off the medications and go from there. So to give you guys a quick recap again, starting Monday, 7:30, we'll be live again talking about deficiencies and the vitamins and minerals and how to put them together to get over the hump with the mineral deficiencies that possibly contribute to blood pressure issues. We're going to be having the fruit and salad, excuse me. We're going to be having the fruit and salad challenge next week. The fruit and salad challenge is going to be released next week. We're going to actually kick it off the following week. That way you guys can all get prepared and be ready for this process, because I expect to see each and every one of you involved in the fruit and salad challenge. I expect to see each and every one of you posting pictures of maybe your salad or your fruit or whatever you had this morning. I expect to see a conversation going on about, hey, I had this and I didn't like the dressing that I made. Anybody have any suggestions that fall in alignment with blah, blah, blah? I expect to see engagement. It's as simple as that. There's no point of being in a group if you ain't going to engage and participate. It's as simple as that. I'd rather see you guys here actively participating, being engaged in this process. That way we can continue to move forward. Again, don't be a spectator. You gotta be willing to participate when it comes down to making these type of lifestyle changes to correct blood pressure issues. So I don't see any other questions in the chat. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Again, everything kicks off next week. For those of us that are in the other community, be on the lookout for your emails. That way you can have everything else that you need. That way you understand ahead of time how this whole cycle is going to work out. That way you could just be in tune with me directly and go from there. Other than that, I think that's it. And I see you guys later. I appreciate you all for tuning in, and thank you so much.